The Phoenix Suns will be looking to bounce back from their early playoff exit last season. Let's take a glimpse at the first 10 games for the Phoenix Suns. How does their schedule look so far?
It looks manageable. I think it's a manageable schedule. It's a nice way to come into the 2023 season, and just yeah. It's I think it's doable for them.
Okay. For a team that didn't go deep in the playoffs last season, why am I looking at so many nationally
This
televised
is
games
this is what I'm.
back to back?
This is what I'm talking about. Like, what what is the thought process? What is the thought process, NBA league, on which teams get nationally televised coverage? And I'm talking about what? One, two, three, four. Two ESPN, two TNT, and NBA TV. If you got the station, like, really?
Hmm.
That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
So
It's just ridiculous.
really like 7 of 10. I mean, they're going to be publicized. It's crazy though. I'm going to be looking forward to see if DeAndre Ayton can still play with the type of sheer will and desire after securing his contract, after feeling like the Phoenix Suns did not want him on the roster.
Mm.
Now, I don't know that to be 100% true, but that's what it looked like to me when they didn't want to pay him.
Yeah, he had to force his hand. He had to force their hands.
Yeah.
He had to force their hands, and they was like, "Okay," messed around and went into luxury tax. See, y'all playing. Y'all should have paid that man last season, long ago, and y'all didn't. And now y'all like, well, you have them, but what do you have really? Like, I don't know. I don't know. That will be something to watch for sure.
Yes, yes, and I do believe it is now or never for CP3. I mean, he's gotta this has to be their year. After falling short last season and then the year prior making it to the NBA finals and him having the issue with his hand and then, the defense from the Bucks just kind of stopping them in their tracks. This is the Phoenix Suns season, but the problem is the West is tough as ever, and it is going to be a huge challenge for the Phoenix Suns.
I think since they are running it back again with pretty much the same roster as they've had for the previous two seasons, if they don't go back to the finals, I would even say if they don't go back to the conference finals, the Phoenix Suns may want to consider blowing up the roster and starting over.
Uh,
Of course, keep some of their core, but I'm just saying it may be time, right? It may be time. It just may be time. Just throwing it out there. It's too soon to tell, but they may want to consider it. You're going to run it back a fourth season. It's just something to think about. We won't know that, of course, until the season is over. But it's interesting enough how many times you're gonna keep running it back with the same players.
yeah, exactly. I mean, ask the Miami Heat about that. But looking at this schedule, which games jump off the page for you? Do you have any circle like a must see? Put everything aside. Let's just tune in to the TV. Like
Yeah,
which
the
games are
rematch for game number one, the Suns and the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks said you won't do that this season. You will not get past us. You will not go to the conference finals because you couldn't get through us in 2022 postseason. So Dallas Mavericks for sure. Oh yeah, stands out for me. I want to know what it's all about, and especially with this new revamped roster. I wouldn't say revamp may be a little stretch, but the new added pieces to the Dallas Mavericks. What
Mhm.
are we talking about? What are we looking at? So yeah,
Yeah, okay. I do not have that game schedule. However, the game against the Los Angeles Clippers, oh, that's gonna be good. Because similar to, Brandon Ingram being pushed out of LA, I still feel like CP3 was kind of pushed out of the Los Angeles Clippers.
mm-hmm.
And he had a chance to really take them far, but now he's with the Phoenix Suns. So anytime he plays the Clippers, I just feel like he plays with like extra chips on his shoulder.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I don't
Hmm.
think Kawhi Leonard will be playing that game. I said it in the previous video when we talked about the Clippers first 10. I think because that's the first or second. Is that the first or second of a back to back? That game that they play with the Suns, the Clippers and the Suns, and I don't see Kawhi Leonard playing. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh God. Oh, I just don't want to start another season. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna go on a Kawhi tangent, but it's a shame that we have to be considering talking about that early
Mhm.
in the season for
Yep.
Kawhi Leonard.
Yep.
Oh God. Okay. I also have the game against the Golden State Warriors, the NBA champions from the year prior. You think the Phoenix Suns don't want to show them like, hey, you know what? We're here and you're gonna have to battle us because really the truth of the matter is, like the Eastern Conference, you're going to have to go through the Golden State Warriors.
Yes.
Like, you're going to have to. There's just no way around it. They're going to be right there waiting for them.
You know, another game that I'm interested in will be the game against the Pelicans. And I say that because, again, I want to know what Zion is going to do and how will Aiden, if he needs to, and Bismack Biyombo, I hope I'm not saying his name incorrectly, what they going to do with it. I'm just curious. It may not be nothing. I'm just looking forward to that. And it's really just seeing how Zion is going to change up how people play the New Orleans Pelicans this upcoming season. It's something that I'm looking forward to seeing.
Yeah, that should be really good, primarily because, Aiden, he'll get into some foul trouble. And as it stands right now with the Suns roster, Dario Saric, like, he don't want none of that smoke from Zion coming down with his choo-choo train.
But I think Bismack wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a challenge for him. So I'm just curious. To see. It's top of the season. Let's see what it looks like. And again, so that is another game that I have kind of circled. New Orleans Pelicans, and it's on ESPN. So what?
Right. All right, let's get into some of these challenges for the Phoenix Suns. I think the Suns can only go as far as DeAndre Ayton. For me, it is not CP3. It is not Devin Booker. It's really DeAndre Ayton. He is a crucial piece to the Suns' success, and I don't know why it took so long for Robert Sarver to realize that.
But this is the cold part about, I agree with you on their success being through DeAndre Ayton. But this is the cold part. Mid-January, what decision will he make? Will he opt to stay or will he opt to leave? Because he has that written to his contract. So what are we talking about? That's really the crust of all of this. What will DeAndre Ayton do? And if his decision is to leave the Suns, what will the Suns be? Something to think about. When we're talking about the Suns' success going through DeAndre Ayton, he's holding the bag in his hand.
Yeah. And the challenge will be whether or not he can let bygones be bygones and push forward. But with leadership like Monty Williams and CP3, I think there's a good potential for him to say, you know what, I'll buy in. I'll stay here, because they need him more than they need him more than he needs the Phoenix Suns at this point.
Yeah, but Monty Williams didn't have a problem sitting them down. Is that still lingering? Y'all, let's stop acting like people forget. Let's just stop it. When you feel a certain way, you hope it doesn't resurface. but let a trigger happen, and all of a sudden here it comes. Let's just not act like it's not going to show up. Because he did get set down.
Yeah, he sure did. But the Suns are running it back without a solid backup for Ayton, as I mentioned. I mean, Bismack is great. I'm glad that they re-signed him. But really, if you look at it, the Suns did not upgrade at all. At all. With these high-powered offenses and defenses in the Western Conference. Like, they're playing all these Western Conference teams, with the exception of the Philadelphia 76ers, which are going to, the Sixers are going to give them a big problem in the paint and along the perimeter. It's just going to be, the Suns better be ready.
I hope they are. And again, I think low key people are rooting for them to do it. Like I said, I was really excited when they made it to the finals in 2021. I was like, oh, this is it. And then I was like, okay, well, they're going to number one, in the standing in the West for 2022. Okay, this is it. And now here we are, 2023, saying this better be it. Like, it's when is it? Like, it's just like, okay, I'm waiting. Suns, it's all on you. Everybody will be. I think people will be happy. Fans will be happy if the Suns, Chris Paul finally gets his chip, finally, and then he can go and retire off into the sunset. But this, for me, if this year is not the year, win. If this roster is not the roster, win.
All right, so looking at the Suns' first 10, what are your game predictions? Do you think they will go undefeated during this stretch?
Absolutely not. No, that's too much to put on their shoulders. No, I don't think they'll go undefeated. You know what's really interesting, though, about this schedule, and we didn't mention this, that they're playing Portland 3 times. 3 times. Y'all couldn't. Come on, NBA. Anyway, so I said that to say this. They are going to lose one of the games to the Portland Trailblazers. So my prediction is 7-3. One loss to the Portland Trailblazers. I mean, they're playing them 3 times. I just don't see them winning all 3. That's one. They're going to lose to the Warriors, and they're going to lose to Dallas.
Dallas.
I'm telling you, I'm riding Dallas. Their first game of the season is going to be a loss. I'm riding Dallas right now. Dallas is just giving me something that I don't know until they prove me wrong and how I feel this season can go for them. Right now, Dallas is they're going to be the ones to they're going to give some teams some fits. I think so.
Okay.
Who
All
you
right.
got?
I have the Suns going 6-4 on this
Oh,
stretch. I
oh,
have them losing. I have them losing to Dallas as well on the opening night for the whole world to see, right? On ESPN. That's not going to be a good look for the Phoenix Suns. I also have them losing to the Los Angeles Clippers, the
oh.
Timberwolves, because though it's something about the backcourt for the Timberwolves. It just they do it for me. I like what Anthony Edwards is doing, and I think the Suns are going to take that L. And I also have them losing to the Philadelphia 76ers because Joel Embiid is a monster. He's just a monster, and I don't know that the Suns have enough internal force to fight that back. I just don't know. Joel Embiid's on the MVP mission. It's going to be tough to get by Philly with the W.
All right.